Let me ask you a question. What separates those who succeed from those who struggle? What makes one person unstoppable while another crumbles under pressure? It's not luck, it's not talent, it's not even intelligence. It's mindset. Your mindset is the foundation of everything you do. It determines how you handle challenges, how you bounce back from failure, and whether you push forward when things get tough or give up when things don't go your way. Some people go through life reacting, making excuses, and waiting for things to change. But the ones who win, they think differently, they act differently, they show up differently. And today I'm going to show you 7 undeniable signs that you have a mindset built for success. If you recognize these in yourself, great. But if you don't worry, because mindset is something you can build, something you can strengthen, something you can own. Are you ready? Let's go. One of the most powerful traits of a strong mindset is the ability to take full ownership of your life. This means understanding at the deepest level that where you are today is a direct result of the choices you've made. It's about recognizing that you are in control, not your circumstances, not other people, and certainly not luck. People with weak mindsets look for someone or something to blame when things don't go their way. They point fingers at the economy, their upbringing, their boss, their spouse, or even fate. They say things like, I would be successful if only I had better opportunities, or I would be happier if only people treated me differently. But a strong-minded person refuses to play the victim. They don't waste time blaming external forces because they understand one critical truth. Excuses don't change reality. Action does. Taking responsibility means owning not just your successes, but also your failures. It means standing up and saying, I made that mistake, I didn't prepare enough, I didn't make the right decision. And instead of feeling defeated, you use that awareness as fuel to improve. Every setback becomes a lesson. Every mistake becomes an opportunity to grow. Every obstacle becomes a challenge to rise above. When you take full responsibility, you stop waiting for life to change and start changing life yourself. You stop depending on motivation and start relying on discipline. You stop expecting people to come and save you, and you realize that no one is coming, it's on you. That's not a burden, that's a gift. Because if it's on you, that means you have the power to change it. People with a strong mindset don't complain because they know that complaining doesn't fix anything. They don't dwell on problems, they focus on solutions. If something isn't working, they don't sit around feeling sorry for themselves, they figure out how to make it work. If a door closes, they don't waste time knocking on it endlessly, they build a new door. Taking responsibility also means refusing to let past experiences dictate your future. Maybe life hasn't been fair. Maybe you were dealt a difficult hand. But the truth is, what happened to you is not your fault, but how you respond is your responsibility. You can either let the past define you, or you can decide that you will define yourself. When you fully accept responsibility, you realize that there is no power in blaming others, but there is unlimited power in controlling your own actions, reactions, and mindset. And that shift from blame to ownership is what separates those who thrive from those who remain stuck. Most people see challenges as roadblocks, obstacles standing in the way of where they want to be. They get frustrated, discouraged, and overwhelmed when things don't go smoothly. They see difficulties as reasons to quit, as signs that maybe they're not cut out for success. But a person with a strong mindset sees things differently. They understand that challenges are not barriers, They're stepping stones. Every challenge, every setback, every difficult moment carries within it the potential for growth. When you embrace challenges, you stop fearing them. Instead of running away from difficulties, you lean into them. Instead of seeing struggles as problems, you see them as tests, opportunities to push yourself further, to develop new skills, to grow stronger, and to become better than you were yesterday. Think about the most successful people in the world: athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders. None of them got to where they are by avoiding challenges. They got there by taking them head on, by using every hardship as a lesson, by refusing to be broken when things got tough. They understood that struggle is part of the process, that pressure creates diamonds, that resistance builds strength. When you embrace challenges, you shift your mindset from "why is this happening to me" to "what is this teaching me?" Instead of complaining, you start problem solving. Instead of backing down, you rise up. Instead of being afraid of failure, you recognize that failure is just feedback. It's information that helps you adjust, adapt, and come back even stronger. Challenges are where real growth happens. Think about it. When everything is easy, you're not being tested. You're not being stretched. You're not being forced to evolve. But when you face adversity, when you push through discomfort, that's when you build resilience. That's when you develop the mental toughness that separates winners from quitters. Most people avoid hard things because they associate difficulty with pain. The people with a strong mindset understand that pain is temporary and growth is permanent. They don't shy away from discomfort because they know that everything they want, the success, the confidence, the mastery, lies on the other side of it. When you embrace challenges, you stop playing small. You stop avoiding risks. You stop waiting for things to be perfect before you take action. Instead, you dive in, knowing that every challenge is sharpening you, refining you, and preparing you for the next level. You understand that discomfort is not something to fear, it's something to seek, because discomfort means you're growing. Emotions are powerful. They can drive you to take action, push through barriers, and achieve incredible things. But they can also trap you in a cycle of self-doubt, fear, and hesitation if you don't learn how to control them. A person with a strong mindset understands this. They don't let emotions dictate their actions. They don't make impulsive decisions based on temporary feelings. Instead, they master their emotions, using them as tools rather than being enslaved by them. Most people live in reaction mode. Something happens and they immediately respond with frustration, anger, or anxiety. They let their emotions dictate their day, their choices, and ultimately their future. When things go wrong, they spiral into negativity. When someone says something hurtful, they dwell on it for hours or even days. They allow emotions to cloud their judgment, make them doubt themselves, and steer them off course. But those with a strong mindset know better. They understand that emotions are fleeting, and while feelings are valid, they should never be the driving force behind critical decisions. Controlling your emotions doesn't mean ignoring them. It doesn't mean suppressing how you feel or pretending that negativity doesn't exist. It means developing the awareness to recognize what you're feeling and choosing how to respond rather than reacting blindly. It means being able to step back in moments of stress or frustration, take a breath, and ask yourself, is this emotion serving me or is it controlling me? When you control your emotions, You stop allowing external events to dictate your internal state. You stop getting thrown off by minor inconveniences, negative people, or unexpected setbacks. You understand that you might not control what happens around you, but you always control how you respond. A strong mindset is built on this foundation: the ability to stay composed, focused, and rational even when emotions are screaming at you to react impulsively. Think about the times in your life when emotions got the best of you. Maybe you snapped at someone in anger and later regretted it. Maybe you made a decision out of fear that kept you from taking a life-changing opportunity. Maybe you let frustration or sadness paralyze you instead of pushing through. Now, imagine how different things could have been if you had stepped back, acknowledged the emotion, and responded from a place of strength instead of weakness. People with a strong mindset don't let emotions drag them down into negativity. They don't allow temporary frustration to make permanent decisions. They don't let fear stop them from taking action. Instead, they use emotions as fuel. They turn frustration into determination, fear into excitement, and doubt into confidence. They know that emotions are just signals, not commands. And they get to choose how they act, regardless of how they feel in the moment. When you control your emotions, you take back your power. You stop being a slave to stress, anxiety, or frustration, and you start using your emotions to propel you forward instead of holding you back. You become the kind of person who stays calm under pressure, who thinks clearly in moments of chaos, and who refuses to let feelings dictate the course of their life. Most people go through life as slaves to their emotions. They wake up feeling unmotivated, so they don't take action. Someone says something negative to them and their entire day is ruined. They let fear hold them back, anger cloud their judgment, and frustration make them quit too soon. But a person with a strong mindset refuses to be controlled by fleeting emotions. Instead, they take full command of how they respond to situations, no matter how intense the pressure gets. Controlling your emotions doesn't mean ignoring them. It doesn't mean suppressing what you feel. It means acknowledging your emotions without allowing them to dictate your actions. It means recognizing that just because you feel something doesn't mean you have to act on it. A strong mind separates emotions from decisions. It recognizes that emotions are temporary, but the consequences of reacting impulsively can last a lifetime. Imagine a boxer in the ring. If they allow anger or frustration to take over, they start making reckless moves, throwing wild punches and leaving themselves open to attack. But a true champion stays composed, reading their opponent, calculating their next move, and waiting for the right moment to strike. Life is no different. The more control you have over your emotions, the more control you have over your outcomes. Think about the last time you let frustration get the best of you. Maybe you snapped at someone you care about. Maybe you made a rushed decision you later regretted. Maybe you let fear convince you to walk away from an opportunity that could have changed your life. That's what happens when emotions take the driver's seat. But when you learn to regulate your emotions, you gain power. You stop making choices based on temporary feelings, and you start making choices based on what will serve you in the long run. People with weak mindsets let external events determine their internal state. If something bad happens, they sink into negativity. If things don't go their way, they get discouraged and give up. But those with strong minds know that they decide how they feel no matter what's happening around them. They don't allow external chaos to create internal chaos. They develop the ability to remain calm under pressure, to think clearly in difficult situations, and to push forward even when emotions try to pull them back. Emotional control also means understanding that success is not about feeling motivated all the time. Motivation is fleeting. There will be days when you don't feel like working hard. There will be moments when fear and self-doubt creep in. But a strong mind doesn't wait for the perfect emotional state to take action. It moves forward anyway. It understands that discipline is greater than motivation, that showing up, even when you don't feel like it, is what creates real results. When you learn to master your emotions, you stop reacting to life, you start directing it. You stop letting other people's words and opinions dictate how you feel. You stop making decisions based on fear, anger, or insecurity. You become unshakable, focused, and unstoppable no matter what life throws at you. You stay focused on long-term goals. Most people want success, but very few are willing to stay committed to the process long enough to achieve it. They get excited in the beginning, they work hard for a while, but the moment results don't come fast enough, they get frustrated. They lose patience, they start looking for shortcuts, and eventually they quit before they ever see real progress. But those with strong mindsets understand that success is not about what you do for a week or a month, it's about what you stay committed to for years. Staying focused on long-term goals means having the ability to delay gratification. It means resisting the temptation of short-term pleasures that distract you from what you really want. It means choosing discipline over convenience, choosing consistency over comfort, and choosing future rewards over immediate satisfaction. Weak minds chase instant results. Strong minds play the long game. The reality is that every great achievement takes time. Whether it's building a successful business, getting in peak physical shape, mastering a skill, or creating a legacy, it all requires sustained effort. There are no overnight successes. The people who reach the highest levels of success are the ones who stay locked in on their vision, no matter how long it takes. They don't get discouraged by slow progress. They don't abandon their goals just because things aren't happening as fast as they'd like. They trust the process, they put in the work, and they keep going even when they don't see immediate results. Staying focused on long-term goals also means learning to ignore distractions. The world is full of noise. Social media, entertainment, other people's opinions. There is no shortage of things trying to pull your attention away from your mission. A person with a weak mindset gets caught up in these distractions. They spend hours scrolling, consuming, and comparing themselves to others instead of building something for themselves. But a person with a strong mindset knows how to block out the noise. They set boundaries. They create an environment that supports their focus. They remind themselves daily of what they're working towards so they don't get sidetracked by things that don't matter. There will be moments when the journey feels exhausting. There will be times when progress is slow, when self-doubt creeps in, when giving up seems like the easier option. But this is where mental toughness separates the winners from everyone else. The weak quit when things get tough. The strong dig deeper. They understand that success isn't about feeling like it every day. It's about committing to the process even when motivation fades. Another key part of staying focused on long-term goals is being willing to make sacrifices. If you're serious about achieving something big, there will be things you have to give up. Maybe it's late night partying, maybe it's spending money on things that don't add value to your future, maybe it's toxic relationships that drain your energy. Whatever it is, those with strong mindsets are willing to make short-term sacrifices because they know the reward in the end will be worth it. Every time you stay focused, every time you push through resistance, every time you choose to keep going instead of giving in to distractions, you're reinforcing your mindset. You're proving to yourself that you have the discipline, the patience, and the resilience to achieve anything you set your mind to. Life is unpredictable. No matter how well you plan, no matter how prepared you think you are, things will not always go the way you expect. The market changes, opportunities vanish, strategies that once worked become obsolete, people let you down, plans fall apart. If you have a weak mindset, you'll panic. You'll resist change. You'll cling to what used to work even when it no longer serves you. But if you have a strong mindset, you understand that adaptability is power. You know that the ability to pivot is what separates those who survive from those who thrive. Adapting doesn't mean giving up on your goals. It means being flexible in how you reach them. It means recognizing that obstacles are not stop signs, they are signals to adjust your approach. Some people get stuck because they are too rigid. They believe there's only one path to success, and when that path is blocked, they assume success is impossible. But those with a strong mindset understand that there are always multiple ways to reach a goal. If one door closes, they don't waste time banging on it, they find another way in. If a strategy fails, they don't see it as a reason to quit. They see it as feedback, as valuable information that helps them refine their approach. Look at history. The most successful businesses, athletes, and innovators are the ones who adapted when circumstances changed. Companies that refused to evolve disappeared. Athletes who didn't adjust their game got left behind. People who were unwilling to learn new skills became obsolete. Adaptability isn't just an advantage, it's a necessity. The world is always changing, and if you want to stay ahead, you have to be willing to change with it. Adapting also means letting go of attachment to old identities and comfort zones. Maybe you once saw yourself as one kind of person, but now life is pushing you in a new direction. Maybe you built a career in one field, but the industry is shifting and you need to learn something new. Maybe you had a certain plan for your future, but circumstances have forced you to reconsider. A weak mindset resists these shifts, clinging to what feels familiar even when it no longer makes sense. But a strong mindset welcomes change as an opportunity to grow, to expand, to reinvent. Pivoting is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of intelligence. It takes strength to admit when something isn't working. It takes courage to step into the unknown and explore new possibilities. It takes confidence to trust yourself enough to navigate unfamiliar territory. Some people stay stuck in failing situations simply because they are too afraid to pivot. They convince themselves that if they just push harder, things will go back to the way they used to be. But reality doesn't work that way. The strongest people are the ones who recognize when it's time to adjust, who are willing to change course without losing momentum. Adapting also requires emotional resilience. Change can be uncomfortable. It can feel like losing control. It can challenge your sense of identity. But the ability to adapt is what keeps you moving forward instead of getting left behind. When the unexpected happens, do you freeze? Do you complain? Do you resist? Or do you stay calm, assess the situation, and figure out the best way forward? Your answer to that question determines whether you will grow or stay stuck. A strong mind understands that uncertainty is part of the game. You will never have complete control over everything, but you always have control over how you respond. The more flexible you are, the more unstoppable you become. The more you embrace change, the more opportunities you create for yourself. The more you pivot when necessary, the more progress you make, even when the original plan falls apart. Most people spend their lives chasing comfort. They want the easy route, the path of least resistance. They avoid struggle, dodge challenges, and run from anything that makes them uncomfortable. But here's the truth. Comfort is the enemy of growth. If you are always choosing what feels safe and easy, you are limiting yourself. You are staying the same, and if you are staying the same, you are not growing. A person with a strong mindset understands that growth requires discomfort. They know that in order to become stronger, they must push beyond their limits. They welcome challenges, not because they enjoy struggle, but because they know struggle is the price of transformation. They don't fear failure because they understand that every failure carries a lesson that moves them forward. They don't resist change because they know that staying the same is far more dangerous than stepping into the unknown. Think about the process of building muscle. If you lift light weights that never challenge you, your muscles will never grow. If you never push yourself to the point of discomfort, your strength will remain the same. But if you continually increase the weight, if you push yourself past what feels easy, your muscles respond by growing stronger. Your mind works the same way. If you never challenge yourself, if you always choose comfort, your mind remains weak. But if you push through discomfort, if you embrace difficult situations, if you step outside of your comfort zone daily, your mindset becomes unbreakable. Most people let fear keep them in their comfort zone. They are afraid of failure, afraid of looking foolish, afraid of what others might think. So they stay in jobs they hate. They settle for relationships that don't fulfill them. They avoid taking risks that could change their lives. They convince themselves that comfort equals happiness, but deep down, they feel stuck. They feel unfulfilled. They know they are capable of more, but they are too afraid to step into the unknown. A strong-minded person makes a different choice. They understand that fear is not a stop sign, it's a signal that they are about to grow. Instead of avoiding discomfort, they seek it out. They put themselves in situations that challenge them, they take risks, they try new things, they pursue goals that scare them. They understand that the greatest version of themselves is on the other side of fear, and they are willing to do whatever it takes to reach it. Choosing growth over comfort means embracing the process, not just the outcome. A weak mindset wants instant results. It wants success without struggle, progress without patience. But a strong mindset understands that real growth takes time. It requires consistency, effort, and resilience. It means failing, learning, adjusting, and coming back stronger. It means showing up every day, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable, even when there's no immediate reward. It also means surrounding yourself with people who push you to grow. Too many people surround themselves with those who enable their comfort. They stay in circles where no one challenges them, where no one holds them accountable. They seek validation instead of growth. But if you want to develop a strong mindset, you must be willing to be around those who push you, who challenge your thinking, who hold you to a higher standard. Because the truth is, growth never happens in comfortable environments. If you're always the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. If your environment never pushes you to evolve, you are robbing yourself of your potential. Choosing growth over comfort means making difficult decisions. It means saying no to things that don't align with your goals. It means prioritizing long-term success over short-term pleasure. It means stepping into situations where you might fail, where you might struggle, where you might feel out of your depth, but it also means stepping into your potential. At the end of the day, you have two choices. Stay comfortable and stay the same, or seek growth and become unstoppable. Life will test you. There will be moments when everything feels like it's working against you. You'll face setbacks, failures, heartbreaks, betrayals, and losses that shake you to your core. Most people let these moments define them. They let failure discourage them, let pain break them, and let obstacles convince them to quit. But if you have a strong mindset, you refuse to let anything stop you. You keep moving forward no matter what. This is what separates those who succeed from those who don't. It's not talent, luck, or intelligence, it's perseverance. It's the ability to keep going, to push through resistance, to take another step even when everything in you wants to stop. A weak mind collapses under pressure, but a strong mind uses pressure as fuel. A weak mind makes excuses when things get hard, but a strong mind finds solutions. A weak mind waits for motivation, but a strong mind moves forward whether they feel like it or not. Moving forward doesn't mean ignoring the pain. It doesn't mean pretending things are easy when they're not. It means acknowledging the struggle but refusing to let it define you. It means understanding that pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. It means knowing that every great success story is filled with moments of doubt, failure, and hardship. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that the ones who made it kept going. Think about the most successful people in history. None of them had a smooth, effortless journey. They faced rejection, ridicule, and failure more times than they could count. But they had something most people don't, a relentless, unshakable determination to keep going no matter what. They didn't stop when things got hard. They didn't stop when people doubted them. They didn't stop when they felt exhausted, discouraged, or defeated. They kept pushing forward, adjusting, learning, and growing until they reached their goals. That's the mindset you need to develop, because life is going to test you. It's going to knock you down. It's going to throw challenges at you that make you question everything. But if you have a strong mindset, you'll get back up every time. You'll keep fighting. You'll keep moving forward no matter how long it takes, no matter how many times you fail, no matter how many obstacles stand in your way. The truth is, most people give up too soon. They stop trying after their first failure. They let fear of the unknown keep them stuck. They convince themselves that success is for other people, that maybe they're not good enough, smart enough, or lucky enough. But the ones who achieve greatness aren't the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who refuse to quit. Every time you push through an obstacle, you get stronger. Every time you keep going when it would be easier to stop, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Every time you refuse to quit, you reinforce the belief that nothing can break you. And when you keep moving forward, no matter what, you become unstoppable. A strong mindset is not something you are born with, something you build. It's forged through challenges, through failures, through moments of doubt where you decide to keep pushing forward anyway. It's built in the moments when you take full responsibility for your life instead of blaming circumstances. It's strengthened every time you embrace challenges as opportunities instead of obstacles. It grows when you learn to control your emotions instead of letting them control you. It sharpens when you stay focused on your long-term goals, resisting distractions and temptations that try to pull you off course. A strong mindset means you adapt and pivot when necessary instead of clinging to old ways that no longer serve you. It means you seek growth over comfort, understanding that true success comes from pushing beyond what's easy and stepping into what's challenging. And above all, it means you keep moving forward, no matter what. No setback, no failure, no criticism, no obstacle has the power to break you, because you refuse to let it. The world doesn't reward those who wait for the perfect conditions. It rewards those who take action, who stay relentless, who refuse to back down in the face of adversity. If you develop these 7 traits, you will become the kind of person who not only survives challenges, but thrives in them. You will become unshakable, unstoppable, and limitless in what you can achieve. So ask yourself today, are you strengthening your mindset, or are you letting your circumstances define you? The choice is yours.